Hey y'all, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome back to Kate's Giving. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Today's video is going to be a little bit unusual, but it's basically an older video that I wanted to still do, but it needs some explanation before we dive into it. So basically this is a video I recorded before Sophia was born on Ivette Beauty. I was trying out a bunch of products from her and I was chit-chatting a little bit about motherhood and babies and that type of thing. And before I had time to publish that video, Ivette Beauty actually announced that they are closing their store. So they're no longer going to be available, but I did ask in my latest decluttering new makeup I haven't tried yet video, which I can leave linked up here if you're curious about that video. But I asked if you guys still were curious to see, and a lot of you said yes, you'd still like to see the video even though they are closing down. They still, at the time of me filming this video, have their products available for purchase on the website and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, that's a great point. So I still want to do this video. I should have said earlier, but Sophia is nursing on me, so if you hear little noises, that's her. But anyway, so I did still want to bring this video showing you guys a bunch of Ivette Beauty products that I tried, and I will leave her website linked down below if you're at all curious in checking her out, maybe purchasing some stuff. I do know she's running a sale until her inventory is gone, so I have no idea how long that's going to be, but if you are at all curious, I'll leave a link down below. One last, oh my goodness, I just realized I have nothing on my lips. So sorry, I'm a bit of a mess in this video, if you cannot tell. Anyway, one last thing to note is when I started recording, it was even all over the place in a mess the day I recorded it because I actually forgot to turn on my microphone for like the first 10-15 minutes of me doing the eye makeup. So we're gonna start this video and first open up just doing a music overlay of the video so you guys can see me applying the makeup and whatnot, and then we'll just jump in and dive into wherever I start off the video once I realized that my microphone was off, because that was fun to discover. But hopefully this will still be a fun video. You guys can still see how the makeup applies and whatnot. We could just chit chat and share a little bit about Ivette Beauty, and like I said, they are closing down. So if you're curious about my recommendation, I absolutely love her graphic liners, like water activated liners. They're all so good. Highly recommend them. She sells little quads, so if you just want a couple colors, you can easily pick up one or two and be set to do some fun graphic liner on your eyes. So with that little intro out of the way, now we can dive into the video and you guys can see how her eyeshadows apply, how her flakies apply, and how her graphic liner works on my eyes, and we can just chit chat a little bit during the video. So I just did all of this and realized that I never turned my mic on. So that's all gonna be silent. This is just fantastic. And I can't refilm this because this is my last day of filming before babies come in. The weekend starts and then the baby will be here on Monday. So yeah, let me just recap what we've done, and then I can re-answer the question I was working on throughout this whole eye look. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me do the eye look and seeing how the colors performed. I love the sparkle with that shimmer. I mean, both of them are very pretty. The red is more just like color with a little shimmer to it, but there's a ton of sparkle with that that silver. And then the mattes I think are super pigmented. No issues there, very pretty. So yeah, I just used the black in my outer corner, the red in my inner corner, and I blended out with the pink. The red got a little lost with the pink, but I kind of still see a little bit of depth there, so I wouldn't say it like disappeared. And then I put the yellow around the edges of the black. And then for the lid, I used the hot pink, obviously, and then this silver right here. And super impressed with all of that. Like, I think the quality, pigmentation, everything is very nice. A tiny bit of fallout on my face with the sparkle. I'm assuming all of the silver sparkle though, because I don't see any pink, like hot pink on my under eyes, so that's good. What was I just gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a little bit of the, let's do, just to make it fun, we're gonna tap into a little bit of the red. One of my kids is awake, so you'll probably hear her. She's coloring on my bed. But I'm gonna tap in here and just kind of blend out this edge right here. Okay, so let me grab the question again and let's answer it again. I won't be so long-winded this time since I don't have the time, but I was just chatting away while I did my eyes, talking about it. Janice Bore said, I just had my first one 7 months ago and don't know how all you moms with multiples get anything done, especially YouTubers. It took me like 5 or 6 months to get to wear makeup because the baby would get upset whenever I tried. I'm gonna put a little bit of this yellow in my waterline. I feel like that'll be a fun pop. What I was saying when I didn't have my mic on for the past 20 minutes was that each child is different and each parent will parent differently, but I would do makeup whenever my baby was sleeping in the beginning. And I also said, oh, this looks like it's pretty, this is Odin's eye, I should say. Looks like it's a pretty transparent. I'm gonna have to warm that up and see if that gets more pigmented because that isn't doing anything. Let me go with the hot pink. It's because each parent is so different in their expectations. I always kind of went into each new baby with like, the first 3 months is like the 4th trimester, so don't expect anything crazy to happen and like for life to return to normal or your new normal within that time frame, just because it's, you know, such an adjustment period. The baby's getting used to being on the outside, you're getting used to having a child. If you have more than one, everyone's adjusting to having a new little one. So I kind of consider the first 3 months to be that 4th trimester, and I don't make anything like, I'm not too hard on myself. And for me, I'm not someone who is like super strict with the schedule when it comes to the children or new babies, like getting them on a schedule and getting them sleeping through the night ASAP. I just like to help them adjust during those first 3 months to sleeping more at night and less during the day, and I feel like that just naturally helps them have longer stretches if I help them, you know, stay awake more during the day. It just makes them naturally more sleepy at night, so they're more inclined to have longer stretches of sleep during the day. So I'm someone who, gosh, I'm gonna have to remember it, but I think you like feed them every 3 hours. And so I try to keep them awake, or wake them up, feed them, then keep them awake for a little bit, and then let them nap for a little bit, and then wake them up again, that type of thing. So that's kind of what I try to do after the first couple of weeks of having a baby, because the first week I definitely don't have any hard and fast rules. And you know, with me and YouTube, I remember in the beginning there would be some times where I remember recording a video with the baby sleeping on me, like Levi, he would be asleep on me, or Gideon, he'd be sleeping in his like little bassinet or something while I recorded the video. So I kind of just, you know, figured out nooks and crannies to make it work. I also know that I like to, I'm a night owl, so that definitely helps, keep that in mind. But I like to stay up late, so with the babies, usually they have, they go to sleep around 8, 9 or something, but then they'd be ready for their first feeding around 11 or so, or midnight. And so I would just put everyone to bed, put the baby to bed, clean up the house, and then I'd have like an hour or two of editing, and I would just stay awake until that first feeding, feed the baby, and then I'd go to bed around midnight, feed them again 1 or 2 times during the night, depending on how young they were. All right, so I'm gonna pause real quick. Let's dive into this. These are duochrome cake liners, and I don't know which one to use. I think I'm gonna start with this one, and we're gonna line my eyes and see what it looks like. So anyway, I just kind of find the time in the nooks and cranny and kind of just adapt to the baby's new schedule to get things done. I'm someone who, like I said, I would record videos with the baby sleeping on me. I would do my makeup with them sleeping on me. I have like a baby Moby wrap
that I would use. So yeah, it was a nice way to get a break from like carrying the baby around, because I could sit down and do my makeup. And then especially with Levi, I remember sometimes that his naps wouldn't sync that well where I could lay him down with his bigger older siblings, so I would just hold him during a video and have him in the Moby wrap or have him sleeping in the chair. During the, wait, did I go into the wrong one? No, I think this is the right one. I don't know what shade this is, but we're gonna try it. It's a little too watery. Let me mix for a little bit longer. So I do that, edit late at night, you know, when I was waiting for the first feeding. I was saying beforehand when I was doing my eyes that it definitely, I feel like, is easier in a way to adjust with more children as opposed to your first. Your first has challenges, A, because it's your first and you're trying to figure out what you're doing, but also too, like trying to help them transition from like sleeping during the day and being awake at night to sleeping at night and being awake during the day is hard because you know, with it being your first, like everything's so quiet and you're trying to just, at least for me, this is what I found, I should say. But with my first, it was like just my husband and I. So trying to, you know, get her to wake up during the day and whatnot to eat, or keeping her awake to do some playtime when she was wanting to sleep was trickier, as opposed to my future children, the second, third, and I'm assuming the fourth. It's going to be a lot easier to keep her awake because I have children who are running around the house making noises. So definitely something I would say keep in mind is that, like, I used to always think that people with multiple kids seem to adjust better to having a child than like someone with like only 1, 2, or even 3. But I do think it has something to do with, you know, just having more children running around throughout the day. The babies adjust a little bit more to like, oh, it's quiet at night and peaceful, I can sleep now, as opposed to during the day they keep waking me up. Because I was also saying before, I definitely think that babies have an adjusting period when it comes to, you know, coming out and having to learn to sleep during the day and be up or sleep during the night and be up during the day, because they're so used to the opposite inside. I heard it explained to me once that like the babies like to do that because in the womb they're used to being kind of rocked to sleep with the mom's movements, because she's always moving during the day, and then at night she stops moving and is still, and that's when the baby likes to play because there's nothing much going on. So the baby wakes up and it's like, oh, it's playtime. So that's kind of why they come out kind of conditioned to want to party all night and sleep all day. So anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, just to say that I feel like it's been easier with my second and third child to get them on a more of a normal sleeping habits of being awake during the day and sleeping at night-ish than it was with my first, because my first I had to be very proactive in waking her up myself or just making noise to get her to wake up and eat during the day, because she would just want to sleep all day, and it was quiet because there weren't a bunch of kids in the house. So I'll be curious to see with this fourth one when she comes, if it'll be easy, because I have 2 boys that are 2 and 4 and they make a good bit of noise. So we'll see how adjusting and getting her on used to being awake during the day goes. I feel like it'll be easier. Also too, like when you have little kids, they want to like always hold her and give her attention. And if you have older kids, you have help. So there's just those things that come as you have more children that I feel like I want to play with this one. I think I'm going to put in the cut crease. That will make it easier than your first. At least has been my experience so far and what I've seen over the years. So to that person who left that comment, I would say, you know, don't be too hard on yourself, and I guess it just depends on what your expectations are and like what you're trying. You know, she said she couldn't put makeup on because her baby didn't like it, or wouldn't be quiet during it, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, if the baby was fussing, I would just wear them while I was doing my makeup, or I'd give them a bunch of toys, or I'd just wait until they were sleeping. And for the most part, after I'd say the first 4, 5, 6 months, I would try to be more consistent at making them take naps in their bed as opposed to on me. You're not gonna be able to see this very much. This is like a, let me just see if I can swatch it. I think it's gonna be too light for swatches, but It's a really pretty duochrome, so super shiny, but I'm gonna go into this blue because I need it to pop a little more. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, trying to recap everything that I was talking about before. But yeah, I think it's just gonna depend on your expectations, kind of like what your goals are when it comes to your baby. I know some people are very much like, I don't want to schedule, we'll just, you know, roll with the baby, feed on demand type of thing. And I think, you know, everyone can decide, obviously, how they want to do their own child. And like I said, I'm someone who is definitely someone who likes to schedule my babies, but it's the most loose, not firm schedule ever. Like I'm like, oh yes, I'd like every 3 hours, wake, eat, play, sleep is kind of like the MO that I go for. Doesn't mean it happens all the time, but it's always kind of something I just strive for, to get used to that pattern with the baby in the beginning, so then it's a little bit easier to kind of, as she gets older and as she's sleeping better, to kind of stretch it more, and she has that, you know, wake, eat, play, sleep schedule already down. That's what I've done for my children. This might be a touch dark, oh well. I'm just having fun today, obviously. We'll come up with like this. Cut through this darkness, and I think you'll also see that duochrome a little bit more. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't know her circumstance or her child, or like what she's, you know, striving for when it comes to her child, but I just try to be very flexible when it comes to new babies, and kind of do my makeup where I can, edit where I can, and especially with multiple children now, this will be my 4th, but I try to definitely sync them to a good nap time where they're all kind of down around the same time in the afternoon, because then I'm able to edit, or not edit, I'm able to record, because that's honestly been the hardest part of having more kids and still doing YouTube, is just finding the quiet time to edit. Like right now, I started recording this video when everyone was asleep. I have 2 awake out of my 3 so far, but they're still in kind of like that wake up phase, so they're laying on my bed right now. So I can finish out this video, but usually I don't film talky videos in the morning. I'll sometimes, frequently I've been doing my makeup in the morning before they wake up, because I can get my makeup done a lot faster when I'm not talking, but I usually don't record YouTube videos in the morning because I talk too much and I don't get it done in time. That's really pretty. I think I want to go in with this green. I'm just going to add it on top of the wing liner. Might as well. It's the only one we didn't try. These are very pretty. I'm not super familiar with duochrome liners, so maybe I'm not using it right, but I'm just treating it like a regular cake liner. And it's hard to see the shift, obviously, because I have all this makeup on, but you can definitely see a shift. It's very pretty. But let's see what the green is. So yeah, I just kind of work it into my little pockets of the day, literally. And like I said, I'm a big night owl, and I know that definitely helps with being a YouTuber, because I do a lot of my editing at night. And I remember with Levi, there'd be some times where he'd have his, in the very beginning, when he would just be awake at night and not want to go to sleep. He wouldn't be fussy, but he just would be like, yo, I'm not sleeping. And I would edit videos in the middle of the night with him. So I'd give him some tummy time, or I'd just have him up on the couch letting him look around, and I would work on a video that I wanted to put out later. So that's another way, you know, being a YouTuber, I was like, hey, I'm awake anyway. He's not sleeping. He's super content just doing tummy time, and I have to be awake to watch him, so I'm going to get a little video edited while I'm awake in the middle of the night. And I'm also someone who, I definitely need sleep. I'm not someone who doesn't need sleep, or someone who can like live off of 2-3 hours, but I don't need to live up, like I can function for a large span of times on little less sleep than typical, like 4 to 6 hours. And eventually I'll have to catch up with like a really good sleep. So usually with new babies, like on the weekend when my husband's home, I'll either try to take a nap or sleep in, that type of thing, to help me catch up. But I can definitely survive for a good chunk of time on less sleep. And I know some people just, you know, it's not how their body works. So I do want to mention that I am someone who can function pretty well for a little while without a ton of sleep, just very limited sleep. So that definitely helps in the whole like being able to do everything and have YouTube and whatnot, is that I'm okay, you know, functioning for a little while without sleep. So definitely something to also consider. And last up, I just want to say, don't be hard on yourself. Like I said, some people's bodies just don't do well with sleep, like they need a good solid amount of hours in order to be able to function. And I don't think that makes anyone any less of like a good parent or any less of a parent in general, not being able to function with less sleep. So definitely something to keep in mind since I don't know this person. Maybe there's someone who their body just needs a set amount of sleep in order to function, and you need to make sure you're taking care of you as well. So if it comes down to like, I could do makeup or I could sleep and function better, honestly, forego the makeup. But so I understand that totally, but just something to keep in mind too. I wanted to make sure I said that. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a moment, put on some mascara. No, actually we should do the flakies first. Okay, I'm gonna be brave, I'm gonna do flakies. I keep putting it off. I'm gonna do, no, not this flaky. This is a beautiful flaky, but I think this one will match more. It's like a multi-chrome, no, it's like a holographic. So I'm gonna use my NBA glitter primer. I don't know what I'm doing, I should say. I'm just gonna tap it over the middle here because I think that's where I'm gonna put it. I don't wanna put it all over my eye. It's a little scary to put it close to my eyeball, so we're just gonna tap it in the middle, I think. Right where the pink and the, well, it'll probably be mostly over the pink, but kind of where the pink and the silver connected there. This turned out to be a fun look. Definitely very, I'm just having fun and being super creative, trying all this new stuff. You can definitely see that duochrome on top because it's like super dark blue, but then it gets very bright in my, on my brow bone. That's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna tap this on like that, and I think while it's still wet, more wet than I would typically for shimmers, I wait for it to be a little bit more dry, but I think it's gonna need to be a little bit more wet. I'm gonna take this brush because it's fluffy and it has a little concealer on it, so I think it's gonna help grab this stuff. Look at that, I'm scared. Tap it in and whoa, tap it on. I don't know how to use flakies, so I'm gonna go ahead and just preface this video a million times by saying that. We're just gonna play with it. I'm gonna press it on. Oh, there's flakies flying everywhere. I'll probably find flakies in this makeup room or in my closet for a couple months. Whoa, okay, this got a lot more intense on this side. Let me see if I can match the other side. And then I'm gonna try to get all this flaky off my face. This would be really pretty in a nail polish. Like rubbing this on your nail, oof, on top of a dark base. All right, I think we're gonna do that. Let me get all this off my face and my lashes, and let's go ahead and I'm going to, ooh, the texture. See, I think that's where I'm just not made for flakies, is because the texture when I open my eyes is gonna annoy me. But before I do that too much, I'm gonna take more of that NBA. We're gonna try to seal it on top. And I guess I'm just gonna pat it over because I don't know what else to do. Or I guess I could put it on this brush and pat it over. That's probably a better idea, Katie. Let's do that, like so. Okay, and I'm gonna keep my eyes turned down while this sets. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the two shimmers I used on my lid just to put it back on, because putting the liquid on and messing around with it kind of faded it a bit, or just like made it a little bit less intense. And then let's also do a little bit of that sparkle, or the purple, oh my gosh, the pink. Maybe I shouldn't, because I'm gonna mess it up. I'll just tap it around. I don't know what I'm doing. Literally don't know what I'm doing. We'll call that good. I just need to stop. What do you guys think? Be kind. Okay, you don't have to be kind. You can just be honest. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm going to, let's go ahead and do my highlighter. This is from that brand I can't pronounce, but I've been meaning to try this with you guys for ages, and I just haven't had the chance. It's this palette right here. I used it on my Instagram. I want to go into with this flower. The swatches weren't like super impressive, I would say. Like they just look like, oh, okay, but the palette's so pretty. I am curious to see if I go ham, it might give more of a like intense type of highlight. I don't know, it's like a sheen. I'm actually gonna mix it up with a little bit of this because it's looking a little too white. I'll do both of those petals like that. There we go. It's definitely nothing like blinding, but it's brightening, and definitely nothing like textured, glittered, very sheeny, so it's more like doesn't emphasize texture on your face. So if that's something that's important to you, to not emphasize texture, you probably like that. What do you think? I think it gives a nice shine. maybe I'm being too harsh. Oh, I have so much of this flaky on my face. All right, I'm going to go ahead and adjust, but I'm going to put some mascara on and then we can close out this video. It's been the most randomest video. Of course, that's fitting. The most randomest video for my last video I'm sitting down to record and chat with you guys before baby comes, but yeah, let me put some mascara on and get a couple more of these flakies off my face. Alright, so here's the finished look. I realized as I was doing my mascara, my whole graphic liner is way wonky, so please ignore that, but I was just having fun with makeup, and it was a lot of fun. I will say, like, I didn't get to try her pressed glitters in here, but her mattes and shimmers in these quads worked lovely. I was very impressed with them. And then the flakies, okay, they are definitely messy. I don't know if I used them right, but they do look super pretty. And they look pretty for pictures and videos. I don't think I'd ever put on flakies to actually wear out to, you know, do something during the day, just because I know, I shouldn't say I know, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna start flaking off and just chunking off because they're just so big, and my eyes are a little bit more deep set and hooded, so they tend to make shadows flake off if they're too chunky on my lids. And these are definitely very chunky, but they're definitely very fun for pictures, for YouTube. I might use them again. I used them in this video, so I'm very proud of myself for actually using them because I never thought I would actually use flakies. But I definitely would like to try it rubbed onto like a dark polish. I feel like it'd be so pretty, and then sealed in. I wouldn't have to worry about them flaking off. So overall, I had a great time at trying Ivette Beauty once again. These little quads are so very cute. I love her. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention, but her liners, I'm really glad and happy that she sent me this duochrome liner. I will add it to my collection of cake liners in the back because I don't have any like this, and that definitely is super fun, especially if I'm going to do like a graphic liner somewhere in like my crease area because of the, you know, how deep they are. It helps you see that duochrome effect better because it goes like from dark to light as it comes out. I just think it's a really cool effect, and they're 4 very obvious different colors and whatnot. They give different shifts, so definitely super excited about this as well. It performed just as beautifully as the other ones that I'd tried from her. I always recommend and rave about her cake liner quads. Highly recommend them, and as a whole, Ivette Beauty is so affordable. Highly recommend the brand. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, just getting to play with makeup, and I'm sorry it was so messed up in the beginning. I can't believe I just totally forgot. Mom brain, pregnancy brain, I'm struggling right now. I got 3 more days and then I'll have newborn brain because I won't be sleeping, but you know, at least I will be able to breathe and eat again, and I'm very much looking forward to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and just enjoyed getting to chat with me. So thank you guys so very much for watching as always, and I'm over on Instagram, LadyKatie92 over there if you like reels, up close eye pictures, arm swatches with palettes, all that sort of thing. LadyKatie92. And with all that said, I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.